All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order of the Community Police Referral Board for March 12th, 2024 at 5:30. Can I get a roll call?
Yep. Downing.
Here.
Hobart. Here. It's not here. Meckus.
Here.
And Townsend.
Yeah.
All righty. Consent calendar. Are we going to adopt the consent calendar as presented or as amended?
So move.
Second.
I think she's like first.
Going right along, huh? All right, board discussion regarding consent calendar, none, right? We just, okay.
Okay.
We need a roll call, yeas and nays?
Downing.
Yes.
Hobart.
Yes.
Meckus.
Yes.
Townsend.
Here.
All righty, moving right along. New business. I guess we're gonna look at the recognition of the Iowa City Public, I guess it's the police department, right?
Yes.
Yes. And that was Orville.
Yeah, it was a while back. I was just thinking, about our officers, the fantastic job they do, but I noticed that we don't have a lot of recognition, individual or group of things like that. So I was just wondering, do we have anything in place along those lines? And if not, can we consider some things that we can put in place?
I have no idea if we have
Maybe
any.
you could ask
Well, but for,
the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Is there something in place?
is there anything in place for recognitions for the police through our group, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Not through our group.
I think it's a citywide recognition.
Oh, okay.
There is.
Nothing other than internally, just city awards we would have that we give out through the department. But, yeah, nothing other than that.
No public.
That I'm aware of.
So I just thought I'd throw that out to see what the group thinks about it, if there's something we want to take a look at, or we can put it as things to do later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I mean, I think they do a good job, but I don't know, would we ask the other commissions and other groups to get involved, or is it just for us?
If it's just from us, then you probably want more people here.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said if it's just from the group or from this commission, I would think you might want to get input from
All right,
those that
everybody.
are gone.
So
But that doesn't mean you can't put out your ideas.
Right.
But and again, that's something that we put it on the table, and it's something we can just kind of table everybody to think about it, and then come back and revisit it later. But we're very fortunate. We've got a police force that's outstanding. They're there, but they're not there because they're just doing their job and they don't create a problem. The only thing we tend to look at problems, and there are a lot of things that surround us. It's not a problem that deserves recognition, and I think this is one of those. I mean, you just stop and think at what they do. They're putting their lives on the line, and I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois, and I tell you, the police force that I grew up with is a hell of a lot different than the police force we have, and the police force I grew up with. It wasn't always working for the benefit of the citizens, so,
Would you like to put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
yeah, we can table it when everybody else
Let's
is.
give it some thought and, see if some things that we might do. But I think they're deserving of something.
Well, second, putting it on the agenda.
We can just add it to old business.
Yeah, we'll add it to there. Old business. No old business, number item 5.
No, there is old business. Report of public participation.
What, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So report of public participation. So I think we had decided to have cable TV share a report with us about what kind of participation we've been receiving with our live and our Zoom, and as you can see. But I will share with you what they sent us. They gave me 6 months. Let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January. Okay, so in August, with the YouTube live stream, we had no participants. On Zoom, we had 1 for 1 minute. September, we had 1 user for 2.5 on live, no Zoom. October, we had no live. Now this is October 3rd, that was our community forum, so we did have 3 people on Zoom, but they didn't participate. They were just kind of hanging out there. 1 was on there for 16, 1 for 20, and 1 for 35 minutes. In November, we didn't have any on either live or Zoom. December, we didn't have any live. We had 3 that had registered to participate via Zoom, but then did not attend. In January, we had 2 participants, but they were staff. So, and then Zoom, we had 1 on for 25 minutes. And then last month, we had 3 staff on for less than 3 minutes. And so that could be cable TV staff, it could be myself, just checking the recording. And we didn't have any on Zoom last month. So that kind of gives you an idea of how it's going.
I guess I kind of have some concerns, The Community Police Review Board, when it was created, it was to create an avenue that if citizens felt that they had been treated unfairly by the police, that they had an avenue that they could complain, and then there was a process put in place to see if they'd been treated unfair, but to see that they got justice. And that's what we've done. We put the focus there all these years. Now I kind of get the focus that we're beginning to expand that. And if we're beginning to expand it, I guess I would want to ask the question, do we really want to expand it? If there's some other things that need attention, maybe we should focus exactly on what's the situation and create something new to address that. But I'm concerned if we start adding things onto the process we have, that usually leads to not too good things, not too good an outcome. I think we got a good thing going, so the question is, do we want to stay with what's working for us, or do we want to mess around with it?
Well, we've tried. We've been live and on Zoom for 6 months, and as you can see, we're not having great participation.
Of all these participants, almost all of them directed their question or their concern to the police, not
To the board.
us,
Right.
not to the board. So we've been making ourselves quite available, and we may even conclude that we're doing a good job since there are no complaints. That everybody involved is doing a good job, including the police, since there are no complaints to the board.
But I think, and that's my point, I think we've been doing a good job over the years because we've been specifically addressing citizens' concerns to make sure that they've been treated unfairly, and we've trying to do everything we can to make sure that in that very few situations where there is a wrong, that then where we can deal with that, make sure that that citizen is treated fairly. But we've been very narrow and very precise over these years, and I just get the feeling that we're beginning to expand, and I have to.
What are we expanding into?
Well, it's just like our meetings. We meet, and public input. All of a sudden, we want to involve the public.
Well, the public's always had the opportunity
Yeah.
to come in person.
Yeah, they can come in person, and usually, only time we hear from the public is when they have a specific situation that they feel needs dealing with. Mm-hmm. And I think we've done a good job of addressing that over the years. So, I guess I'm just wondering, why do we feel a need to expand on that?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I guess I will speak on behalf of staff time. Well, and you've seen the evidence of, the cable TV people come in, and there's always an issue. I mean, now, we always seem to get it working by the time the meeting comes on, but it does, seem to be, I don't know, a lot of work for them. And then, even myself, I mean, we haven't had anyone participate at all where I've had to go in and, let them in. But you do have to keep an eye on that. And then we have to hit this recording, and then we have this recording.
But for
so-
example, if we had, under the old system we were using, if at some points we were having problems and it wasn't functioning and it needed improving, and then in trying to improve that, it came out like we need to televise, then okay, but we would have a reason to do it. But, this is something that we're just doing, and I think it takes a lot of staff time. I mean, I guess if we took a look at this in terms of what's happening, the outcomes that it's taken a lot of staff time that basically we don't necessarily need to take. I think the public has indicated they don't have a lot of interest in it, so.
But they still have the opportunity to come in person, so.
We've always had the system where if they felt that they had some issue, they could come in and file a complaint. That's the way it's always been done.
They can do it in writing and in person, yeah.
So I guess in a very political way, what I'm trying to say is, if it's not broke, should we try to fix it?
The meeting still will be recorded.
Oh, yeah, the meeting,
And
yeah.
be put on YouTube, that
Yeah.
anybody can watch them
Yeah,
later.
and you do that, and if somebody looked at the meeting and had an issue, they could come to us, but they would be coming to us with something specific. And if it were a criticism or something they felt was not right, and we agreed it needed to be fixed, then we would work at finding a way to fix it. We're not trying to exclude the public, and we're not doing that, but I think we've come up with something that's, I think it's taking away a lot of extra staff time, and the public's had an opportunity to get involved, and I haven't seen people, lined up outside of their door. So I guess what I'm saying is, we might want to think of.
Yep.
Canceling it.
It would need to be a majority, so the four of you would all have to agree to discontinue the Zoom and discontinue the live. Like I said, the recording will still continue because we do that with all boards and commissions.
I would put forth a motion that we discontinue the Zoom and basically just focus on that, only creating new things to address issues and concerns that the public have brought to our attention that we need to deal with, and creating new avenues is necessary.
And are you just the Zoom or the Zoom and the live? There's two separate additional things.
Okay, I don't want to tear down something that I shouldn't, so what's the advantages? What are those?
What was added was Zoom and live. Those were the two things that were added 6 months ago. And at that time, you had expressed that you wanted to go back and look at it in 6 months, and that's what we're doing.
So the difference between the two, I think, is the live streaming it's broadcast live so people can watch us right now as it's happening if they want to, right? And the Zoom is the thing that everybody's done since COVID. If they want to participate in the meeting, they can do it remotely on their computer.
Okay.
So you can have the live streaming but not participate. If you want to participate remotely, you have to go on Zoom. You can't
Well,
just...
I'm not a technology person, but I guess what I'm saying is I was fairly happy with it the way it was. So I'm saying let's go back to that. Now, if you people technology-wise see some advantages to add on to that, I'm willing to listen to that in the discussion.
So
I think somebody needs to make a motion.
I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, but you
Someone
need
want
to
It was a long
state
motion, but it was a motion.
a motion to discontinue live and Zoom. Is that what we're?
Right.
Okay.
And what you were doing before was just the recording for
Yeah.
viewing later.
Let's go back to the way it was.
I
Need a
second it.
second, and,
So the motion is to discontinue
Both.
live and Zoom.
Right.
all right.
Thank you.
Okay, so, Hobart,
Yes.
Jensen's not here, McCollum's not here, Meckes,
Yes.
Townsend.
Yes.
And Downing.
Yes.
Okay.
Item number 5, public comment on items not on the agenda.
We do not have any.
And we have nobody, so we'll move on. Item number 6, board information. Anything? Anything for the next meeting? You want to put out there? We can add to the calendar? For next meeting, yeah.
Item adjourned for the next meeting. Maybe that could also be done today, but I would like to ask the police whether there is a communication between the police and social workers or whoever is in as an adjunct to the police when they're called. In one of the cases, we had more than 30 calls, 911, and that seemed to be excessive. And it seems that the social worker, for lack of a better word, I don't know what the name is not functioning. When you have 4 cars coming in for, more than 30 times, I mean, more than 3 times, that shouldn't take place. But more than 30 times, it takes valuable resources from the police. There are people who could be in trouble and needing help. So I'd like to ask the police department what would trigger the participation of the social workers. Are they really doing their job? Because we're putting at that point after 3 times, as a magic number, we're now putting the police in a different position. They're not doing police work.
So we
So
can add that.
basically, you're asking what's the protocol for the social workers or
Yes.
the mental
Yeah.
health liaison to actually get involved? How many calls, if there's so many calls or whatever, is what you're asking.
Okay, we can add
And I
that.
would word it mental health liaisons. They're not all social workers.
Okay.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
They're not all social workers.
Right,
They're mental
right,
health
right.
liaisons. So just remember that. Just because you call them a social
Well,
worker.
I think he just
doesn't mean
wants to
they're
know
social
what the
workers.
process is.
Yep. Yeah.
We will
Because-
add that to new business
Yep,
for,
for
And
next
that's
month.
through community.
April.
what's that?
That's through community.
So what was the question on that? What was the
Basically, I think
concern?
when did the police
When did the
involve?
police get involved? For so many calls? I mean, is there so many calls that before they get the social workers or the mental liaison involved? Or what is the process? Who all gets involved if the police are going back to that same residence all the time for domestic, mental health? Or,
It's not just, several times. It's like a 911 call. I mean,
Right.
Right. If they don't answer and something happens, that could be tragic. But if they keep answering, it's more than 30 times the
Right.
same person over and over. And we've talked about
So-
the issue before.
What do we have in place now? I mean, this is been something.
We're not
that-
So we
discussing
need
it
to-
now.
we
This
can't
is something that has
discuss
to be
everything.
on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah.
We can't have that discussion.
So we'll do it for next month,
Okay.
April. Yep. Anything else people want to put on for next month? Okay, let's go on to item 7. Any items to share with the board from anybody?
Me,
You?
staff,
Staff.
and Kelly,
And Kelly.
Lieutenant Fink.
Oh, okay.
No, other than this is my last meeting. I retire on April 5th. Yeah.
Screaming.
Do we have to vote on that?
You weren't here that day.
Can we vote against it?
We do have someone coming in. Kelly has hired, her name is Connie McCurdy, right? And she currently works with Johnson County, so she'll be coming starting at your April meeting. And I'm sure Kelly will probably be with her for a couple meetings.
Could I suggest a phased retirement?
So are you gonna come?
That is what I've been doing for 2 years. Sorry, Kelly. What was that?
No.
No, I've been here for 26 years. My
Time to
husband
go.
retired 2 years ago, so I'm
Time to
gonna
go.
join him.
I would just like to say, welcome to the club.
Well,
This
thank
retirement
you.
club's the best freaking club I
I've
ever
heard
been.
that.
It is the
I
best
keep
one.
hearing that.
You can't beat it.
Is there an opening on the board? What's-
No. So, that's all I have.
Kelly? No? Sir? Okay, item number 8, tentative meeting schedules, future agendas. Any questions on the dates? Okay, we'll
Everyone
move
that's here
on.
now going to be here then.
So we're gonna, what's that?
I said everyone that's here now is going to be there then.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on because there's no conflicts. Okay, we need a roll call.
Not if there's no changes.
Okay, no changes, no roll call, I like that. Okay, time to go to the executive session.
So we need a motion and a second to do that.
So moved.
Before we do, can we ask whether there's any comment or any input you have for us?
We did.
We just asked him. You missed that.
He said no.
We tried to get him to talk. He said no.
Okay.
Sorry. Or I should say sorry to you, maybe. You had your chance. That's no. Just kidding.
He's
You
kind of
can-
quiet today.
Okay, so Orville
I'll
moved.
second, yeah.
Okay,
Good.
and it is,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Okay, item number 10, adjournment.
I'm thinking that.
Are you thinking about it?
you just don't want to leave, do you?
So moved.
Orville,
So moved,
Orville's
Orville.
ready.
You missed it, so.
She seconded, all righty. Jessica. And let's everybody thank the lawyer. We would have went through all that nonsense and the one accounting.
Yeah. That's
Yep, I
right.
gotta make sure I pay attention. Well, no, I don't. Keep saying that. I have to make sure I train the next girl to pay attention to that.
All in favor?
I
Aye, good.